I'm with Raymond Cox, the race director of the Manx Telecom Parish Walk. We've just held the 100th anniversary event of the Manx Telecom Parish Walk. What lies ahead now?
The parish walk continues. We're going to open entries on the 1st of December 2014. We hope will be yet again another fantastic race. Manx Telecom are still our sponsors for 2013, and they've announced an extension to their sponsorship package. So we'll be looking forward to being their partners till 2015, 16 and 17.
And what do Manx Telecom bring to the event?
Well, they bring a whole range of expertise, support, very good on the marketing and things like that. Also a very strong technical support, which goes into working in partnership with Sport Ident. And of course, this is whereby we have our texting service to support vehicles. We have the very up-to-date website. We have the results system, and all that requires quite a high technical input. And we are very grateful to Manx Telecom for putting in so much hard work into that.
One of the things we've found over the years is that although we have some people who compete time and time again, we have to recruit a lot of new people every year if we're going to keep the numbers up. And the age profile sometimes is higher than you'd expect for an athletic event. Do you have any plans to try and get younger people into the event?
Yeah, I think that the Parish Walk is an event that suits maybe an older athlete, somebody who's got tremendous reserves of stamina, somebody who's got built up the years of training, because it is a grueling event, as you know well yourself. But as you rightly pointed out, the lifeblood of any event is bringing in new competitors. So we look to our under-21s categories, and of course these athletes walk only as far as Peel. So to encourage maybe more under-21 entrants, both male and female, we're going to have a team competition as well as the individual event. So teams of 3 will count towards a total mileage to make the winner, and in the event of a tie it'll be the fastest 3 on the team. So we're looking to the under-21s to get together their friends, maybe bring in some new entrants, some novices to the parish walk, get a team of 3 together and enter. Entries will be done through the normal Sport Ident site, all individual entries made in the normal fashion, and then subsequently they can declare a team, not necessarily straight away, but before the closing date of May the 11th next year.
If you're one of those people who's never done a walking event before, what should they do? Do they just turn up on the day, or do they do some preparation beforehand? How do they learn about the preparation?
Well, I think first off, take a really good look at the website. There's a tremendous amount of information put there, both on the technical side, the rules, regulations and all that sort of business, but also training tips. And of course the ever popular blog section, they will find perhaps people who are making blogs of their training progress, maybe novices, maybe more experienced walkers. So there's a lot of information first off there. But walking is a simple event. Buy a good pair of shoes, anybody can do it, and you can do it anywhere. So I think get out there and start walking. We will be having more specific training tips, both online, also at our Walk Talk event, which will be in February 2014. And also we'll be running some training sessions down at the NSC. We've got some very experienced and very good coaches, very approachable people, very friendly people, and they'll help to give you more technical tips on a style of walking and how to get the most out of your training.
Last year there were more finishes than ever before. Although the entries were slightly down, there were more people getting all the way around. In percentage terms, there's a huge increase. How competitive is it, and do you think that we're going to get a record this next year?
Well, the total number of entrants, yes, last year in 2013 was sort of a dip from the previous records, and that in itself maybe reflects a number of circumstances, not the least of which the economic situation and whatnot. But at the sharp end of the race, in other words in terms of finishers, we have an increasing number of people who are really putting the training in, and they are absolutely well able to handle an 85-mile challenge. At the very, very front of the race we have a tremendous group of walkers who are very equal in ability, train very hard, very dedicated, and who comes out on top on the day is really the athlete who feels best on that particular day. We do expect to see finishers proportionately going up, because more and more people are entering the parish walk with view to finishing. I think previously, if you go back some years, people found Rushen a challenge, 19.5 miles. Yes, they'd walk to Rushen. Then it became Peel. We'll walk 32.5 miles to Peel. But of course, now they're fitter, they're better trained, they seem to know more about it, and of course the objectives get further and further along. Balaf has become the new Peel, no question. And I think ultimately, yeah, why not do the whole 85 miles? And I think that people are starting out at the NSC, that's their aspiration. And of course, many of them are meeting it.
It gets a bit congested during the early miles and when there's a lot of cars. What can be done about keeping people at home or getting them to stop in more sensible places?
Well, I think everybody likes to have some support, and we don't ever envisage totally banning cars from the early part of the course. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's nice to have friends and relatives and whatnot coming out to cheer you on the road. However, I think support vehicles driving very slowly behind a walker, absolutely we don't want to see that at any part of the course, particularly in the first half. And of course we have lots of feeding stations, some 11 feeding stations planned for next year, so therefore being catered for water, food, fruit, lots of opportunities to take those on board. So therefore support vehicles don't necessarily need to follow their walker completely all the time, and we'd look to them to maybe look at the road traffic plans that we will have in place, where the roads are open, where the roads are perhaps one way for parking and whatnot, and of course stagger where they come out to see their walker.
Have you got a long range weather forecast yet?
The weather's always good.